Holy carbonation. I can definitely smell it already. Talk about hefty flavors. It's a carbonated chip. I don't know how they do it. It's carbonated. It's baffling because it's so spot on that it tastes exactly like a beer. Welcome back to another episode of Nosh Finder. This episode is really unique. I was on the Nosh Find hunt and I found two different types of chips with the same type of flavor, which is beer flavored. Make sure to drink responsibly. But beer flavored, really unique, and I can't wait to try these out. The first one I have are the Lay's China beer flavored chips. And then the second one that I will be reviewing is the Guinness rich chili flavored chips that I got from World Market. Really excited to try these out. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I am Yun. At Nosh Finder, we're here to bring people together through flavors. And so let's start out with some beer Nosh facts. Beer is one of the oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic drinks in the world. It's actually the third most popular drink overall after water and tea. The Slavic word beer actually came from the verb to drink, and initially beer was any type of drink. The earliest evidence of brewing beer dates all the way back to about 3500 to 2900 BC, so a long time ago. In the form of chemical residues, this form of beer was actually found in ancient Iran. And in ancient China, beer was brewed from sprouted rice as well as from rice with added fruit. And in 1881, an important contribution actually was made to the development of brewing, which was made by a Danish botanist. He was actually the first person to obtain a pure culture of beer yeast, which really improved the quality of the product. The beer yeast developed from Hansen's technology is actually still being produced today with our beers. So beer is produced by brewing the fermentation of starches. It's usually derived from cereal grains and most commonly from malted barley, although wheat, corn, rice, and oats are also used. During this brewing process, fermentation of the starch sugars in the wort produces ethanol and carbonation in the result of beer. Most modern beer is brewed with hops, which contribute to that bitterness that you taste in beer that balances the sweetness of the malt. Different roasting times and temperatures are used to produce different colors of malt from the same grain. So that's why you have so many different types of beers, because of all these different types of combinations. And in one combination, we have Guinness, which is one of our chips today as well. I love Guinness. I definitely had a full Guinness phase of what I drink in terms of my beer choices was definitely Guinness because of its cool, refreshing, and also that thick, creamy type of taste that you get from a Guinness. And Guinness is an Irish dry stout that originated in the brewery of Arthur Guinness at St. James Gate, Dublin in Ireland in 1759. Guinness actually started selling the dark beer porter all the way back in 1778 and is one of the most successful alcohol brands worldwide, brewed in almost 50 countries and available in over 120. So a fun fact is that although Guinness may appear to be black, it's actually officially a dark shade of ruby. Guinness Stout is made from water, barley, roast malt extract, hops, and brewer's yeast, and a portion of the barley is roasted to give Guinness that dark color and characteristic taste. So the biggest change to date where Guinness became the Guinness that we know today was back in 1959 when nitrogen was actually used versus CO2, which created that fundamental texture and flavor that we know and love Guinness today. It gives that creamier and smoother consistency versus that CO2 taste, which is a little bit sharper when you drink other types of beers. And another fun fact is that Guinness is frequently used in a lot of recipes, whether you steer it into French toast to popular authentic Irish courses featuring Guinness and Guinness steak pie. And in this case, we also have Guinness in our chili chips. So I'm really excited to be trying out these two beer flavored chips out and just to see how close we are to actually tasting those carbonated type of flavors itself. So let's find out. Woohoo! Time to try two beer flavored chips out. So let's try the first one, which is the Guinness, since we just talked about Guinness. So on this packaging, it's a nice dark packaging, which really looks like the actual Guinness itself and has these like little window of what these hand-cooked potato chips thick cut would look like, and thick cut, ooh, that might be really good. And it's a delicious creation of hand-cooked quality potatoes, herbs, tomato, and chili combined with the flavor of the world's most iconic stout. Very exciting. And when I look at the back, there are ingredients like potatoes, onion powder, paprika powder, some barley malt extract powder, which does indicate some beer, garlic powder, spices, chili pepper powder, tomato powder, and some chili extract. All right, so sounds like a lot of flavors. I'm really excited to try these out. All right, I'm so excited. Let's open it up. Wow. I definitely smell something already. Definitely very russet potato-like chips. Very dark, thick cut chips with a lot of seasoning on it. It definitely looks like real potatoes. And when I smell it, wow, there's a lot of flavors and seasonings on this, wow. It definitely smells like chili. And there's like a distinct smell that I think it smells like Guinness. I don't know, my mind's playing tricks on me, but I think I smell some Guinness for sure. All right, moment of truth. Let's try it out. Talk about hefty flavors for these chips. Wow. First of all, the texture of the chip, very thick cut, crunchy, tastes just like a potato, really good potato texture and flavors. And then on top of that, the stick has to hold on to that much flavor because there's so much flavor on this chip. It tastes like a stew. It tastes like a chili stew with a lot of the chili pepper, paprika. It almost tastes like there's some cumin and some garlic and tomato powder on it for sure. I also taste a bit of that Guinness bitterness in that chip itself. There's like that earthy tone and that beer flavor that you get from a Guinness that's just at the end of the chip itself. So elements of chili, potato, and Guinness makes for a great Irish meal for sure. So I would give these chips a Nosh Finder rating of 5 out of 5. The next one we're trying out is actually the Lay's China beer chips. And this packaging actually reminds me of a Tsingtao bottle. And it actually can see a little bit of that as well. And it has the peach away. So it's the beer flavor. It's non-alcoholic, but interestingly enough, out of all the seasonings, the one that really sticks out to me is beer flavor seasoning, which I have no idea what that means. But I guess there's going to be beer elements to it for sure. And you know, with Lay's chips, there are definitely some that are extremely spot on and flavorful. So we'll see how these are. So these chips look just like your traditional original Lay's chips. It's just like a crispy, flaky type of chip and no seasonings and no coloring I can see on it. When I smell it, oh my gosh, it definitely smells like, it smells like beer. It smells like the type of beer that you have left out during the day and you forgot to put it back in the fridge. That's exactly what it smells like. I'm a little nervous now. I don't know what it's gonna taste like. Okay, let's just see how they taste. Oh. Oh. If you ever want to check out weird Lay's chips, check out the lactose bacillus Lay's that I did last year. But this one is going to be up there with that one for sure. It's a carbonated chip. I don't know how they do it. It's carbonated. You taste the beer immediately. It's baffling because it's so spot on that it tastes exactly like a beer. It tastes like a lighter type of beer, like the Chinese beer, the Tsingtao that you get. And it has that light beer, malty, hoppy type of taste to it. And the crazy thing is that it has a carbonation to it after you finish the chip. I don't know how they fit carbonation, but it has carbonation, which is crazy. And then there's a sweetness to it, which is even weirder because it's not a savory chip, but it's actually a little bit on the sweeter side of the house. It's so weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. The flakiness of the Lay's is usually the original kind of flaky, crispy texture of the chip itself. I just don't know how this one, I could finish the whole bag. So even though these chips are really gnarly for me, I actually want to say that from a creativity standpoint, the carbonation, the spot on beer taste, it's like out of this world accurate. And for me, it might not be like a really like addictive type of chip, but I gotta say that it's still pretty decent in terms of a chip and like the creativity of the flavor. So with that, I would give these chips a Nosh Finder rating of 3 out of 5. And I would highly recommend you actually go out and try these out and let me know in the comments below on what you think of these Lay's beer chips. So with 2 different types of beer chips, I would love to know what are your thoughts in terms of other types of beer flavor you would like to see on a chip itself. So leave a comment and let me know. Thanks again for tuning in today's Nosh Finder episode. Hope you learned a little bit about beer and Guinness as well. If you want to check me on the daily posts behind the scenes, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Nosh Finder, and I will see you all next time on the next stack review.